Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm here today with Tamindu, who's a first year student currently studying medicine at the University of Sapienza. And so today we are going to talk to you a little bit about the admission process, the course, fees, and also about the structure of the degree. And there will be more about the language barrier, cost of living, and also regarding student life, more on Tamindu's YouTube channel, so you guys can go and see more about those over there as well. So in this video, we are going to focus on the first three things: admission, course, fees, and structure. So Tamindu, you ready to go? Shall we start?
Yes. Hello guys,
Alright, okay.
welcome to our channel. And those who are looking for my one, please subscribe to Swanky Medics from Lasitha channel. Okay, so first we're going to talk about how to gain admissions and what are the requirements. Okay, first of all, as you already know, the first requirement is 12 years of education in Sri Lanka or whatever the country that you are living in. So, and the next thing is like you should pass the exam which is in that country for like university application exam. You should pass it. For example, it's A levels. The minimum score to get into university is 3 S's. I know you can't go to universities with 3 S's, but it's the cutoff marks, I think. So cutoff means like it's the basic thing that you need to have to go to the university. So you should at least get 3 S's. And the next thing is very important. It doesn't matter whether you get 3 A's or 3 S's, but you have to do IMAT exam, so which is like kind of the same like A levels. So you have to definitely pass that, and then they will rank you according to the marks that you get, and then you will be able to get into the university. So that's the first thing: 12 years of education and IMAT. And of course, if you are not doing A levels in English, you have to have a course, for example IELTS, and there are several courses that you can do to gain that English requirements. Okay, about that I have many videos in my channel about how to do IMAT and IELTS, and I have answered so many comments, so you can, like, if you are really interested, you can read the comments even and get some knowledge about this. So those are the requirements on my side.
Okay. So from my side, as you may or may know, guys, I'm studying as a 50-year medical student in KDU. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those entry requirements. So now within KDU, there are 3 different population of students. We have cadets, we have local students, and then we also have international students. So each one of those categories have different entry requirements, but I'm going to focus a little bit on the private side, so the local students and the international students that come in as day scholars. So technically, you're supposed to have 2 C's and 1 D for your biology, chemistry, and physics respectively, which you must have sitting within one sitting. So you can't repeat the exams. If you are repeating them as a local student, for example, you have 3 SHIs as a local student, so you have to sit all 3 exams within 1 SHI and have achieved the minimum of 2 C's and 1 D in that SHI. So keep in mind that the 2 C's and 1 D are the minimum requirements. So if you want to have the best chance to get in, there's going to be competition. So the people who have A's and A stars or Z scores between 1.8 to 1.5 or 1.4, those are the ones that are going to be selected first. So having 2 C's and 1 D is not going to give you the best chance of being considered or being accepted at KDU, but you have basically the chance of applying and getting considered. So keep that in mind. If you want to have the best success at getting in, you have to have those 3 A's or at least 2 A's and a B. Those are the, I would say, gives you it's going to be a competitive application. There are no additional tests, but there are the requirements like you should be unmarried, you should be within the age of 17 to 24. If you're a graduate who has done a biomedical science degree or any other degrees, then they can consider you up to the age of 27. But additional to that, there are no additional tests for the international students. for the local students, there are some IQ tests, general knowledge tests, and there is also an interview they need to pass. So you have all of that considered, then they decide who are the best students that they're going to be taking in. And like Tamindu said, I also have a few videos on my YouTube channel that are going to explain into a little bit further about the interview process and the additional tasks that you have to do as a local student to be selected in. Okay, so with that said, we can move on to the course fees. So
Yeah.
Tamin, did you want to say a bit more?
Yes. Okay. So when you talk about the course fees, in here in Italy, it depends on your income statement. For example, and also they have divided the course fees according to the countries. For example, if you are coming from a third world country like Sri Lanka, most of the South Asian countries, then of course the course fees will be very, very low. So in my university, Sapienza University, they have categorized like that. But some of the universities, they have not categorized like that. But if you give them an income statement, which is obviously going to be low for Sri Lankans, then you can have a reduced course fee. For example, so I can't speak of my university because I know that very well. So it depends, actually, it depends on the uni. So in my university, as I said, they are categorized into the state of the country. For example, we are in a third world country. So we just have to pay 300 euros per year, not for month, per year. Okay, but when you are enrolling, you just have to pay like 156 for like taxes and some stamp fees or something like that. But even after even after 300 euros, if you apply some income statements from Sri Lanka, then I think it will be also reduced to like down to zero. Just have to pay like 16 euros per year. So in my case, since I've been living in Italy for like a few years, so I can get an income statement from Italy. So it's called ISE. In ISE, of course, they are like categorizing into if you have like less than 10,000 euros or 12,000 euros per year, then university course is gonna be like, it's free, it's nothing. You just have to pay 16 euros per year. That's it. And then, yeah, of course, it's payable by installments. Like you can pay even 300 euros in like 3 installments. So yeah, it doesn't matter. So they are really flexible in these fees. But of course, if you have a high income statement, and even if you are living in Italy, then if you have a high income statement, then it's going to be range like 1,500, 1,200 up to 5,000 according to the income that you are having, that your family is having. And also when you talk about the scholarships, yeah, we can apply to the scholarships, and that also depends, that is like exclusively depends on the income statement. For example, again, if you are living in Italy, you can apply for an ISE, and then according to that income statement, according to the income categorizing, they are categorizing your the amount that you are going to get for the scholarship. For example, in my case, I got 7,800 for a month, for a year, and as the first installment, I got 3,630, something like that. So as first installment, which means like it will be given to you within the first 6 months, and then in the last 6 months, they will give you the other 50%, but you have to have at least 20 credits completed within that year. And if you have not completed that credits, like for example 20 credits should be completed within, for example, in my case, I got 3,600 in my first installment. Then to get the next 3,600 in the second installment, I have to have 20 credits. So if I not gain 20 credits by the end of November, I think, yeah, November is the deadline, then I have to pay everything that they paid me. For example, 3,600, and if they give you accommodation, and then they will pay for your accommodation as well, so you have to pay that thing and everything, you have to pay them back. So 20 credit, it's not that much if you're like doing the exams on time. So I think I have already completed like 15 credits, so I have exams on next month, then I think I'll be good to go. So that's about the scholarship, and I'm hoping to do like more detailed video on this prices, because many of the comments, they have asked me about those course fees, and there are so many questions that I have to answer with the schedule. You know, that's it. It's really tough to get, doing other things when you're in the med school. So I will answer them. So don't worry. Okay. So that's about the course fee.
So in that perspective, studying it in Italy sounds so much better than studying at KDU, especially in Sri Lanka. So I'm going to mention a few things now about the course fees. So for us, depending again from the population of students that we are referring to, so if you're a local student, you're paying 2.5 million rupees. If you're an international student, you have to pay approximately about 4 million rupees. So that's the equivalent of 12,500 American dollars. So we have no installments. Okay, so they take the 1 year tuition fees as one installment. So they look at it from the perspective of the full course. So for the full course, you're in rupees, for the local student, you're supposed to pay 12,500,000. So that's the full cost, and they are breaking it down into 5 installments into the 5 years. So compared to the timing is different, they are able to break it down even throughout the year. We are not able to do that. So you are supposed to be able to pay the full 2.5 million or 4 million at the beginning of the course, and then every other November, let's say that you're a first year, towards the end of the first year, you'll have to pay the subsequent tuition fee. So the next 2.5 million, the 4 million. So like that, every year, towards the end of the year, you'll have to pay the full amount.
And also, you have to pay like in dollars, right? If you're an international student?
Yeah, we have to pay in dollars. If you're an international student, you have to pay in dollars. If you're a local student, then you can pay in rupees. And that's also one of the requirements when it comes to your like admission at university. They look whether you are able to pay in American dollars, and whether your parents are basically earning enough to pay for the full tuition fees. So sometimes they will ask also for bank statements, and then they'll basically be checking whether you have enough amount, whether your parents have enough money within their bank accounts to pay for at least 1 or 2 years of the course. And there are no scholarships, so it's up to you whether basically for your family to be able to pay the full amount. There are no scholarships being given from KDU. Even if you do well in your degree, get really good grades, or you've done really well in your A-levels, there are no scholarships being given. So unless there are some opportunities outside where you can get sponsored by certain companies or from banks, KDU itself doesn't do anything to help you out to pay the amount that you're supposed to be paying. So yeah, that's in a nutshell about the course fees of the university. So now I think we can move on towards the structure of the degrees.
Okay.
So
yeah. So when we talk about the structure of the degree, so first of all, let's talk about the time schedule. So in the time schedule, for the first year, we have all the lessons, all the lectures, we say lectures, in the evening, for example, like in the afternoon and evening. So like from 2:30 p.m. to like 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. something like that. It really depends on the day, because some of the time we have like one lecture for like 3 hours and 4 hours. So then obviously they're gonna stop it, like if you have 3 hours, they're gonna stop it like 2.5 hours, because everybody's tired at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't know why they make the time schedules and in the evening. There could be one reason, because there are some students who are in the second year want to get, want to come into our classes. For example, if they are in the second year and if they miss some first year classes, then they can also come to our classes because it's in the evening, so they can go to the second year classes in the morning and come to first year classes in the evening with us. So I think that's why they are like dividing this time like in the evening and the morning. So they are very flexible in that thing as well. And also when you talk about the uniforms, no, nothing. We don't have any uniforms. Like these days we are like wearing these shorts. I'm literally wearing this one to the university. So it doesn't matter with the it doesn't matter actually what you wear. Obviously you can't go like open up, but you can wear it according to the weather. For example, it's like here now today is like 33 degrees, so you're gonna be wearing like this with the short sleeves and very short pants. And that's about the uniforms. You don't have any restrictions, like even about the other things like piercings and tattoos and about the hair, like hairstyles. We don't have anything like that. Like we are free to go with whatever we want. And also, that being said, about the subjects, so the subjects actually varies according to the university, but the course content will be the same at the end of the third year. Then after the third year, it will be kind of the same in every university in Italy. For example, in my university, we have 3 or 4 universities inside Rome, and one of my friends is studying in another university called Torre Vergata. So it actually depends on the university, because we have, for example, if you give an example, we have biochemistry 1 and 2. Maybe there will be 3. No, we have 1 and 2, and Torre Vergata they have 1, 2, 3. So something like that. And also in anatomy we have 1, 2, 3. Anatomy 1, anatomy 2, anatomy 3. It's divided into 3 parts. But in there they have anatomy 1 and 2. So it doesn't mean that like they are learning less. Like if they have 1 and 2, they do the same thing but compact together. There's a video on that I have said about this course content. So at the end of the third year we are doing the same thing. Okay, it's a matter of time. For example, another example is like there is another friend in University of Bologna, which is a very good university. So they do histology in the first semester and anatomy in the second semester of the first year. But we do anatomy on the first semester and histology on the second semester. So as you can see, it's kind of the same content, but it's a matter of time. So that's about the subject. And clinical exposure, it's from the third year. It's like, I think in Sri Lanka it's from the third year as well. So it's from the third year. Of course, they will be taking to, for example, when we were doing anatomy, they took us to show a human body, and then they dissect the chest area, chest cavity, and then the thorax cavity, and they just cut in layers until you go to the heart. I think you know better than me the anatomy, because you're in the 5th year. So they just like cut it in layers, and they just took out the heart and showed everything. When we did cardiovascular system. So that's even not a clinical exposure, but it's kind of practical. Of course, the anatomy is like very practical. We get models every time. We get models, like we have hundreds of models. And also after this year they are installing a 3D software, something like that, to show it like in a more precise way. So like we can go really into detail, because you know the bones differ from one model. Sometimes it differs from one model to another, because even in humans we don't have the same structures. In like we are like typically studying a typical bone. Some of us don't have some of the things, but others do. So the 3D software will be like really helpful, I think. But we didn't do it from the 3D software. We just did it from just the lab. We just get to touch the bones, and I think you will be able to still touch the bones, but additionally you will get a 3D software if you are coming in the next year. So then, yeah, of course we are starting the clinical practice from the third year. Then yeah, we have our own hospital. So we have our own hospital in Italy. I think in Sri Lanka as well. Every university is like combined to a hospital. So our one is like literally right next to our building. So we have our own hospitals and yeah. Okay, so when you talk about the progression from the first year to the last year, I think all the program is everything is planned out. Even if you go to the university website, Sapienza website, and if you type in medicine and surgery to 2023 2024 year, and then when you go to their course program, there you have every subject that we learn until from the first year to the last year to the sixth year. So everything is planned out. Even in the first year, in the first day, they give you a booklet, like including everything. What are the course contents, who are the professors, who are the coordinators, what are the exam dates, and everything. Maybe I have that. Yeah, I will show it when you are speaking or at the end of the video. So everything is planned out throughout the 6th year. So everything you need to know will be sent to your emails, and there is a specific site so you can log on to that, and also book in the exams. Now the exam bookings are open, so we can book through online. Okay, so that's about progression. Everything is planned out. MBBS versus MD. We are doing MD course. It's like a 6-year degree program, and if you're having a degree outside of course medicine, like for example if you're having a biomedical degree, then you can I don't know how, I think it's transcript, something like that, right? That's it. Like we can so it's like, like we can give a transcript and then they will like pass the exams, so we can skip like 1 or 2 years if you have another degree.
Like if you have like a biomedical science degree, then there are certain modules that will be the same as the ones they do during the first year, so they can count those off, give you automatically credits for those courses, and then you do the rest, the ones that perhaps you didn't do. Like Latin is a subject done mostly in medical schools, a lot of medical schools, but in biomedical science you don't do it. So subjects like that you haven't done before, you'll have to do them within the medical course. So that's how it usually works.
Even though one of my friends has a biomedical degree, but they accept everything except anatomy and histology. So they must do anatomy and histology. So you can't skip those things if you have a biomedical degree. Then we have time to do research. We can talk with the professors, and again one of my friends who has a microbiology degree or molecular biology, I think, degree, he just talked to the biology and genetics professor, and then they're like working like colleagues now in the in the lab. So the professors are really nice. Like you can talk to them, and then they will like let you into their research. They are doing very, very good research on cancer. So I think he's working on cancer with the professors now. He's just a first year medical student. He just go there and like blend in with the professors. So if you're really interested into those kind of things, you can do it. So it doesn't matter. Professors are really, really helpful. And we can involve in teaching. For example, but we can teach from the second year. So when you are a senior, then you can teach to the juniors. For example, if you are in the second year, then you can apply to a tutor program, which is official by the Sapienza University, and you get paid. So for like 8-9 euros per hour, you will be paid. So you just have to give them an application that you are willing to teach. Then according to your grades, of course, you'll be like, it's like getting a job. So if you are good at some subject, then you'll be able to teach your junior students. So and you get paid. That's the best thing. So then so about being graduation, after graduation, we'll be directly going into the internship. But the extra thing that you have to do is, of course, you need to know the language. Like in Sri Lanka, So the patients here, we have old patients, we have young patients, especially the old patients. They don't know English very well, so we have to have Italian language at least B2. So that is also, yeah, we're gonna talk about language barrier in the next one, so I'm gonna skip that. Then no, there are no any additional entry exams that we have to do to like work. For example, just the language test, and obviously the last test, which is in every medical school in the world. You just have to pass the very last exam. So only that. There are no any additional exams. Just the language test and the last exam, which you will be doing wherever you are in the world. So that's it about the structure of the degree. I think you can talk about your one.
Alright, so now at KDU, when we talk about time schedules, our degree is done mostly in the morning. So we start 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it keeps going until about 4 or 5 p.m. And that depends from which year you're in. If you're a first year, second year, you most tend to finish at 4 p.m. If you're a third year onwards, then we can't really say which time you're going to finish. It depends on a day-to-day basis. If you're going to hospitals, then that might go on up to 11, 12, even 1 o'clock in the morning. But mostly, sometimes if you have lectures and you don't have to go back to the hospital, then you finish about 5 p.m. But if you do, then you can keep going till late at night. But I suppose it must be similar to you guys as well when you guys get eventually to clinical levels.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, here in Sri Lanka, it's a little bit more, how can I say, they tend to push on you so that you can get the maximum exposure, and there are no boundaries, so boundaries are very limited here. Then uniforms, because our university is a military university, you will have to wear a specific uniform, which is a white shirt with black trousers and professional like polished shoes as well. And there are some other stuff like name tags and some epaulets that go onto your shoulders, things that resemble the military life. And now in terms of subjects that you're going to be studying throughout the course, there are 14, 3 during the first 1.5 years of your degree, and then the other ones that are above 6 that you'll be studying in third and fourth year, and then 5, the final 5, medicine, pediatrics, surgery, psychiatry, and obs and gynae. Those are the final 5 subjects that you're going to be studying. Now, the way our degree works is that you have to pass those 14 subjects, and at least the first 9 subjects, and then once you come to the 5th year, when you're going to be doing the final 5, they're not going to be assessing you just those 5. They assess all the subjects starting from first year. Anatomy, physiology, everything will be assessed during your final exam. So it's not just the 5 subjects that you're going to be doing 5th year. So that's why our degree is different from others, where, for example, if you're doing a biomedical science degree and you study anatomy, once you pass anatomy in the first year, they'll never be looking back at that subject. Even third year, you'll be doing your third year subjects. If you pass those, great, you get your final degree. Over here, no, it doesn't work like that. Every single subject is going to be assessed. And sometimes a lot of people fail during 5th year's exams because they don't remember their first year subjects or the second year, third year. So you need to know everything that you've done during 5 years in order to be successful at your final year exams. And that's how you basically achieve the final grade, whether it's a distinction, a merit, a pass. So it all depends on how you did throughout the year. Clinical exposure wise, we start from third year. So during the first 2 years, you're going to be doing theoretical subjects, and then eventually from third year onwards, that's when you start to build on your clinical experience. And we do have our own hospital, but that's mostly for the 5th year students. If you're a third year or fourth year, you'll be sent to the periphery, so to other hospitals around the Colombo area, and sometimes you might have to go a little bit outside further down in order to reach some of the hospitals, local hospitals outside. And that's because we have so many groups, and then there are also other universities around Colombo. So in order to give everyone a possibility to get involved in clinicals, then sometimes we have to go a little bit further outside in order to get our clinical experience. But as a fifth year, you'll go back to our own hospital, which is in Berere. It's called the University Hospital KDU. That's where you're going to be doing your final year of the degree. So in terms of progression from first year to fifth year, now that's completely different from you. We don't, our university is essentially not as organized. So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's basically a matter of figuring out day by day what's going to happen. For example, if you want to know when your holidays are going to be for the year that you're studying in, you can't know that well in advance. You'll be knowing, for example, if you're end of November now and December you're supposed to get vacations, you'll get to know about it maybe a week before, a few days before. That's how they operate over here. So you have to keep that in mind. Things like that happen, and it's very last minute. So we do an MBBS degree, so we don't have MD degrees here in Sri Lanka. So we do 5 years of uni, and then eventually we do the internship afterwards. Now, when it comes to extracurriculars, we don't have any of those. So like research, teaching, or like getting involved in other administrative roles, like part of clubs and so on. We don't have those things over here. They don't really focus on those things, because you just need your medical degree in order to get into an internship program and to develop your career. While if you go outside, especially for the international students that are thinking to come to Sri Lanka to study, you need to keep this in mind, that the university is not going to give you opportunities to do these things. You'll have to actively go and look for these things. Like teaching, you can teach, for example, I teach anatomy as a clinical demonstrator at the university for first year students. So I do that by going seeking opportunities from the lecturers within the department and ask them whether I can get involved during dissections, or whether I can deliver a tutorial for them. So you'll have to go and actively look for these things. Even research, you'll have to speak with the lecturers and get to know.
Yeah, do you get paid?
We don't get paid for this
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So yeah, you guys have that program, so you guys get paid for that, but we don't have that. As of far, for the moment being, we don't have anything like that. So it's basically going to be volunteering work. Okay, which is, in a way, it's still a good opportunity, because you get to remember a lot of the stuff that you do during first and second, third year. Like a lot of my friends don't remember anatomy the same way that I do. So from that point of view, actively going out to reach out for these things is an advantage when it comes to your 50 years, because it's going to definitely help you out to do better in your final exams. And in terms of research, again, you have to speak with the lecturers and find out whether there's any possibility for you to get involved. And most likely they will say yes, because they obviously are very busy with different things. So they like to have someone more junior who is seeking to get more experience, but at the same time is going to help them out to do research and publish those articles for them. So yeah, after graduation, you'll be able to do an internship. There's a question that I get asked a lot of the times, because our degree is SLMC accepted. So you don't have to do any exams after you graduated from the university. There will be a small period that you'll have to wait, a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, to wait for all the other universities to finish their degree as well, so that everyone can then jump in to do the internship program. And so with that said, I think we can stop the first part of the video, unless you have something additional to say.
No, not
Something
really.
else you wanna add? All right, okay, so we'll stop the first part of the video here. And the second part, where we're going to talk about the language barriers, cost of living, and also more about the student life, are going to be in Tamindu's YouTube channel. So make sure to go to his channel, subscribe to the channel,
Subscribe.
and you can watch the rest of the video over there.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So with that said, we'll see you guys over
See
there
you
then.
guys. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Subscribe.